And I only recently started thinking, oh God, but this can be used by nefarious actors. And apparently this happens with other small groups and religions and things like this in other parts of the world, where a religion can, at a mosque, say, hey guys, make sure everyone votes for this guy, and they get in. And that leads into the fears, maybe conspiratorial, maybe not, that Islam or Islamists are trying to take over politically and gradually change things to be that way.
Yeah, Islam has a very deep sense of unity in terms of it being a compulsory unity. You probably have heard of the fact that Islam has a law for apostasy, which means if you leave Islam, that means you need to be executed. I receive confirmations of that all the time because of my outspoken apostasy, my leaving Islam, and my criticism of it. There is a popular Muslim apologist. In fact, one of the most popular Muslim YouTubers, Ali Dawa, he has over 1 million subscribers. He published a video in which he openly said, speaking to me, that yes, you will be or you should be executed, and we Muslims, we are all the same, and there is a reason why this is the law, and because you cause corruption by leaving it and announcing it. So
they put a fatwa on you.
Yeah, you should be. So he does say, to be fair, that this wouldn't be happening now by random people, but once they have their way and once they have Islamic laws and they can decide what happens, then I, as an ex-Muslim, would be executed, and they are proud of that. I
like that you say, to be fair. To be fair, he's not so bad. He wants to wait until they've taken over the country to then execute him.
Yeah. And I've spoken to them, I talked to them, and so their idea is, if this country, if the UK gets to a point where Muslims or people who follow Islam can be the majority, or at least can have a say insofar as to decide what kind of government will be in charge, they would then be obligated religiously to implement Islamic laws, and those Islamic laws would include such things as obedience and respecting Islam, not leaving Islam if you are a Muslim, being killed if you leave Islam, and so on. And these are not just things that they came up with. This is according to Islamic tradition. Muhammad, the Prophet himself, said, "Whoever changes his religion, kill him." Directly, that's what he says. According to the Hadith, which are the most authoritative, authentic by Islamic standards sayings attributed to Muhammad. Wow. So the issue with the whole making everyone vote and making everyone unite is. In Islam, it's not just that this is a religion and you believe in Allah, and if you don't believe anymore, then you are just no longer a Muslim and you go on with your life, that's it. If you leave Islam, that means you have betrayed the Muslim community, the Muslim nation, the Ummah as a whole. You have betrayed your family, your siblings, your relatives, friends, everything that makes you you, and you no longer really have a right to exist. Mm. And as long as you are a Muslim, you are supposed to be loyal to this common cause, which is why it will be very difficult in global conflicts where Muslims are involved for Muslims to side with the other side or to help the other side in any way. They have to be loyal with the Muslims.
I did this thing with Peter Boghossian, where he gets people street epistemology to stand on different, strongly agree with a statement, strongly disagree, neutral or whatever. And the statement was, I could be friends with a true believer of Muslim. And I don't like the idea that I can only be friends with people with whom I agree. So I was indifferent. I put myself as indifferent, I think. I can't remember exactly. I'm sure people are watching. No, you weren't. You were slightly different. But I was somewhere like, oh, yeah, maybe. We have different views, but maybe I could be friends with them. And Yasmin Mohammed, you know of her?
Yeah.
Just wonderful person.
Love her.
Yeah. And she was strongly disagree. And we had to then give our reasons. And I gave my sort of, well, I don't know. I think we could be friends. La-di-da. And it got to her and she said, like, well, they want me dead. They would like to kill me. And then Peter said, does anyone want to move? And I went, oh, I think I have to move towards Yasmin's one as well, because they want her dead. Yeah. Like, I can't be friends with a person who wants my friend dead. I think that's where I have to draw the line of this sort of acceptance and tolerance.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. And that's something you live with every day. And you're very prominent, perhaps more prominent than Yasmin.
In a way, I mean, I have a bigger social media or YouTube platform. I would say she is bigger than me, than in that she's more um, a Twitter personality, a more known spokesperson.
You're both huge names though, and you both got targets on your back.
Yeah. Okay, we will share it. Yes. Yeah.
Bloody hell! But that must create a real bond when you guys meet each other, because it's like, oh God, we've shared this bond, and
That's the thing. When I was a Muslim, it seemed like there is nobody who leaves Islam. When I was questioning, which took many years, it was very difficult. And when I was about to leave, actually, it seemed like I must be insane. I must be the only person who is questioning and who is going through this process. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
When I left, it still seemed like I'm the only person. And how can I explain myself to people? And once I started looking for the community online, I saw that there are many of them. And unfortunately, many of them are anonymous. Many of them hide behind, different names, without profile pictures.
Understandably.
Yeah, in private communities saying, have to be very careful not to share my information with anyone, not to let anyone know that I am. I mean, most of the ex-Muslims that I have interacted with online are still people who act to their families as if they were still Muslims. Like they go through Ramadan fasting just to pretend that they are Muslims, because if they reveal that they are no longer Muslims, that they no longer believe, there are different risks ranging from being treated differently and kind of shunned to getting killed. And I have met quite a few people who, because they were being chased by their families, by their parents, or by their societies, or by their governments, and threatened with death. People who barely escaped death and came to the West, and who are ex-Muslims and who still have to hide it. This is what we are dealing with. So, of course, then, seeing each other and talking to each other as ex-Muslims feels good. It feels like you found something to trust. You found someone who actually shares these things with you and who doesn't want to kill you, but who actually
and shares your courage.
Yeah, shares your courage in a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, look, it's unlikely in America, but in Europe, how likely is it, particularly in the UK, that political Islamists could get some sort of power, and that people like you and probably me as well would be out?
I try not to be too gloomy about it. But lately, especially with the whole Israel-Hamas war ongoing right now, a lot of the public narrative has become more direct. You can see more what people actually think, what they are actually saying, how they react to things happening in the world. You see where society is going when it comes to religion. You see where Islamic society is going within London, within the UK. And I must say, when I recently I looked a little bit at certain Muslim figures and spokespeople and organizations within the UK, and some of them already outright say that they now have positions of power, or they now have the means to influence law, to change things their way. And there was even one person who was speaking, who is part of this this one well-known Muslim organization, which I don't want to mention now, here in the UK, who said something like, well, it's too late for you guys. I mean, if we have the means, we will make use of whatever legal availabilities we have in order to make this society better and get rid of your corrupt ways. And by better, of course, they mean the Islamic better. And the Islamic better is only better for Islamists. It's worse for everyone else. So I must say that while I don't want to think that everything will be terrible, we will be run over and ruled and so on, I don't think that Islamists will ever kind of take over and rule over all of us and be in power. I do think, however, that that we have long passed a point from which we could safely return, and there will probably be major problems in the not so distant future in terms of Islamic rule, Islamic laws under the current government, under this system of government. There could be separatist movements within the UK. It's totally. I mean, it's entirely possible that a movement could emerge which asks for which establishes a separatist goal to have an Islamic state within the British Isles, for example. Totally possible. It's not a crazy thing, and I think it's very likely that that some major unrest will come as a result of what is happening right now, which is why it's important to inform both non-Muslims and Muslims about the big problems with Islam, in order to not just turn people against Islam, but to turn Muslims away from Islam and to make them leave Islam, to stop going in this destructive, ridiculous, dark direction.
Hence the name Apostate Prophet.
Yes.
You are evangelizing apostasy.
Yes.
A scary position to be in, but I commend you for it.
Maybe I'm just a bit crazy. I don't know, but
definitely that. Bloody hell.